you about genetic engineering. And when you think about genetic engineering, most people think about cloning or genetically modified fruits, like crops and all that, but there's a lot more to it than just cloning and food. On March 8, 2013, Andrew Handley made his list of the top 10 insane cases of genetic engineering, and some of those were about how scientists have been giving goats the DNA of spiders to produce silk. And I don't know about you, but I find that very creepy, how you can milk silk now. And everyone's heard of Captain America, super soldier, comic books. Scientists are trying to do that now, and I think that's wrong, because no one should be able to rip metal with their bare hands. And there's always a possibility of something going wrong, like the Hulk. He was a mistake of science. And this is relevant to you guys because it's happening everywhere where the science is available, and you guys would be affected by this. I'm credible to speak about this because I've researched the topic thoroughly, and I'm comfortable to speak to you about it. And genetic engineering is a crime against humanity and should be stopped. If it happens, there are always unknown possibilities. There will be social unrest, and the value of one's identity or individuality will be decreased. As I said, unknown possibilities. There's always something wrong that can happen. As you can see, there's a rat with something that looks like a human ear coming out of his back. I don't know what they were trying to do, but I'm pretty sure they failed. And just like in movies, this one says how, if there's every science movie, something goes wrong when they're experimenting. Recently, people have been saying how they want their kids to have the perfect eyes or perfect smile and everything, and so they go have operations done to change the DNA of the fertilized egg and sperm to have that specific color they want. But what if it doesn't work? Maybe they change the eye color, but they can't see anymore, or maybe it just affects something else. There's always that possibility of something going wrong. In 2009, Paul Arnold stated, if everyone has the same genes in their body, there's a higher chance of humanity falling to an unknown disease that hasn't happened before. Because everyone has different DNA in them. That's what stops diseases from entering everybody, because some maybe have better immune systems or stronger resistance to a new disease. But if everybody has the same disease and we can't counteract it as fast, what will happen to us? We'll most likely fail or possibly lose a good majority of the population. Next, now, all these kind of operations to change DNA will be expensive, just like most life-saving operations. And that's going to cause some problems in society. Only the rich would be able to benefit from these operations, seeing as they will be expensive, and not the low and middle class families won't be able to pay for it for their children, especially if they need some sort of life-saving genes or whatever. In 2007, Chris Seck with Stanford Review related that if genetic engineering succeeds, that society will relate to this movie Gattaca. If you haven't seen it, it's about two brothers, one who was genetically modified and the other was born naturally, no modifications, and how the genetically engineered one had everything alive, and he was more a high class because he had the genes, and the natural born was, even though he had the talent for his dream job and everything, they wouldn't accept him because he didn't have the right genes in him. And that would be just unfair for everybody, because not everyone will be able to afford this. Only the rich, and what would that lead to? It's just chaos in society, and probably riots. Well, not riots, but protests. Yeah, and then nobody likes people to like copy them, like exactly, like word for word or action for action. The loss of freedom is a very important one, so we stay as humans. In March 18, 2009, GM.org states 4 arguments against genetic engineering: the uniqueness, freedom, and authenticity, and giftedness argument. The one that really spoke out to me was the freedom argument, because with this operations, it gives parents too much power over their children to plan out their future. I've seen this picture. I don't know if you used to read it, but I'll read it. Now look here, young lady. It costs us a fortune to give you a set of musical genes, so get on and play the bloody thing. So, like, maybe you weren't meant to be a athlete. Maybe you were supposed to be like an artist or a computer genius. But with your parents having so much control over your life, giving you, I don't know, like soccer or football genes, they'll force you into like doing what you don't want to do. It's a bad thing. And the other one was the authenticity argument, which is the same thing. It's similar, but it says how having these other gifts from your parents aren't really yours, and how they were just given to you, and they're not really yours since you didn't work hard for it, or you just were born with it, and it's a terrible fate, especially if you don't like what you have. Genetic engineering will not save the world, but make it worse. A quote from Dr. Mei Wan Ho, a geneticist and organic physicist from the Institute of Science and Society of the UK. Genetic engineering is inherently dangerous because it greatly expands the scope for horizontal gene transfer and recombination, precisely the processes that create new viruses and bacteria that causes disease epidemics and trigger cancer cells. Now, especially if we have the same genes again, this will really hurt us in the long run. Today I talked to you about the unknown possibilities that could come with this, the social chaos that will surely happen, and the arguments that were made by the GM.org. With this, I hope you guys now are more aware and will stop genetic engineering, or at least inform others who don't know. Thank you.